Hello, I'm Kevin Church, and this month for the MUFIC Songwriter of the Month of April 2020, we have Bob Call with us today. How you doing, Bob?
Good, Kevin. Good to be here.
Great. Well, we want to let our viewers know a little bit about you because we love your songwriting. So what got you into music? Bye, Taco.
Bye, Taco. Early on, in the late 40s, early 50s, I guess it was just listening to music in the home. My dad played guitar, and we always had bluegrass and country music on the radio, so that's where my interest came from. And then in the late 50s, I got my first guitar. And in 1960, I kind of got serious about playing guitar.
Gotcha. So how old were you when you started playing, you think?
13, 14.
Did you have an instructor or something like that? Or?
My dad taught me 3 chords, and
Okay.
we found out I had a pretty good ear and fairly good rhythm, so I just went from there. I got a chord book at the music store, and I just started out on my own, and I went from there.
That's great. So your dad knew some chords then?
He knew a few. He played in a bluegrass band when he was younger.
Okay, there we go. All right, so Daddy knew how to play.
He knew how to play.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So as you progressed, who were your earliest influences then?
Early influences were bluegrass players. I mean, the Carter family, Ralph Stanley, Jim and Jesse. And then as we got into the 60s, it was folk groups. I had a little folk group in the early 60s, 3 of us. And we played Peter, Paul, and Mary, and the Letterman, and the Kingston Trio, and all those groups that were on in the early 60s. And then into the mid-60s, we got into rock and roll, early days of rock and roll. So then it was those influences of the Animals and the Kinks and all those mid-60s groups. So.
What a great time to be alive.
It was. The 60s
I can only imagine.
It was great. I remember most of it.
That's great. So what got you into songwriting then?
Just, ideas come into your head. I guess I didn't really get started in the songwriting and writing until the 70s. I joined the Navy in 1970 and rode submarines, started making patrols, and of course there's a lot of spare time on a submarine when you're not standing watch. So I started writing poetry, and poetry becomes songwriting. So got doing that. And like everyone else, it was really bad songwriting to start with.
Right.
And then just slowly got a little bit better.
Getting better and better all the time.
Trying anyway.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. I can totally relate to that. So when you're writing a song, do you usually come up with maybe the lyrics first or the melody first, or how does it work for you?
It depends, and it comes both ways. For instance, I was sitting on a couch in the living room practicing my finger picking one day and picking out a little tune, and my wife said, "You ought to make a song out of that." So I kept the little tune and I made up some lyrics to go with it, and then that one came all right. And other times I come up with just an idea, or some words come into my head. The song we're going to do today, came from an idea in a conversation with a bunch of guys at an open mic one night, and I just went home and made a song out of it. So.
Oh, well, that's how it all takes shape, isn't it? That's how it happens from time to time.
You hope so.
So when you said working at Parson Jackson doing an open mic or something, and the song idea came. There was some other ones I'm sure that have popped too. That's a crowd. That was a fun crowd.
That was a fun crowd. We always had a good time there, and there was a whole bunch of. There was people of all different ages and all different styles of music, and of course our friend Chris Tystrom ran a best open mic in the Low Country. So,
he really did.
So it was really good, and so our conversations when we were not playing, amongst all us guys, were good inspiration for songwriting and music too. Lyrics or tunes.
That's cool. So when you play with other people too, like I understand that you perform with another band as well?
I do. I play in a band. I play with two very experienced songwriters and players. Our band is called Jeep White and the BBE, and BBE can stand for a lot of things. Originally, we thought it would stand for Best Band Ever. You know, the other nights it can stand for Barely Breaking Even when we're playing gigs for almost nothing.
That's great, barely breaking even. I got you.
But Tom is an awesome harmonica player, and
Yes, he is. He's
and
fantastic.
he writes great blues songs. So he's been an influence on me as far as the style of music. I'm probably writing more blues now than I ever have before. And the leader of our band is Jeep White, and he's a great Americana
Oh yeah, I love
songwriter. He
Jeep to death.
has a lot of good stuff, some blues, some ballads, some just ditties, and all really good stuff. And it's a lot of fun playing with those guys. And I think we feed off each other and we inspire each other.
That's great.
You know, and as you know, playing with other people, when it's on, it's on. And like I said earlier, you know, if we're all taking our meds and eat a good meal, sometimes we really get it together.
That's great. Playing. Don't go to the gig hangry.
Yeah.
There you go. That's good. So, how have they impacted your writing? How is working with them? I mean, does it help tighten it up a little bit, or?
It does help tighten it up, and seeing how they put lyrics together or put their music together, what kind of tune they want to play. Like I said, I think we influence each other, and it's helped me to tighten up my songwriting, and it helps us form our songs a little bit better and make them smoother throughout.
Right.
You know, so
Start
you
to
have
finish.
a good beginning and a good finish.
I got you. Well, Bob, I'm ready to play on your tune. And so we have Tom with us today. He's going to play some harmonica, so that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yep.
So we're glad to have you.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right.
Bob, call everybody.
Another hard night, the crowd wasn't too bad. Yeah, they hung in there with me all night. I gave it all I had. Gotta pack up the gear and make the drive all night to another small town where I'll keep up the good fight. This bar smells like a barn, the stage smells like a beer. Just a few more hours and I can get on out of here. There's a girl at the bar, watching everything in sight. I'm watching her while I keep up the good fight. Sometimes I think I'll quit, but it don't mean a thing. I've come too far. While some snotty-nosed kid on YouTube gets to be the next big star. My bride is this guitar, the kids are the speakers and mics. That's alright, I keep putting up the good fight. old to keep doing this. Yes, I know it's true. Well, the music's in my bones, I gotta see it through. I love this bar and the stage and the heat of the lights. Don't you know I'll keep putting up the good fight. Sometimes I think I'll quit, but it don't mean a thing. I've come too far. While some snotty-nosed kid on YouTube gets to be the next big star. My bride is this guitar, the kids are the speakers and mics. That's alright, I keep putting up the good fight. Yeah, that's alright, I keep putting up the good fight.